Hello, welcome everyone to NFL show with Bryan and Mobi. How's everybody doing? I hope they're watching games. Bryan, did you watch some of those games?
Yeah, watched my team last Thursday pull out a close win against Cincinnati, and watched a few good games on Sunday. Caught some of the Dallas and Atlanta game, which was a really good game at the end there. And I think I watched Kansas City and the Chargers, and that went to overtime. Kansas City ended up pulling that one out, but some really good games this past week.
And I think Seattle also,
Yes.
really outperformed. Russell Wilson has lived up to his expectations, coach expectation for Bill Belichick, right?
Oh yeah, he had a really good game. Kind of lit him up. I think he had 4 or 5 touchdown passes. In a really close game that came down with Seattle doing a goal line stand there to get the win.
And I'll be watching that game for sure. I think this they're gonna have with Baltimore this week.
Yes, that's going to be a great game. Kansas City, Baltimore. I think it's Monday night. Without looking at my sheet, I'm pretty sure I picked Baltimore at home.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did. I think it's going to be a tight contest. I think that there's a lot of coin flip games, in my opinion, this week where it could go either way. So I don't think we'll see anybody with 15 wins this coming week like we had last week.
Okay. So let's do the recap.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, starting with Cincinnati, Cleveland last Thursday night. Cleveland gets the win. I think both of us picked Cleveland.
Yeah.
Then with Jacksonville, Tennessee, who did you take in that game?
Jacksonville.
Oh, you took Jacksonville. Okay. I went with Tennessee. They end up getting a close win there. Carolina versus Tampa Bay. I think we both picked Tampa Bay, correct?
Yeah.
Tampa Bay got the win in that game. Denver at Pittsburgh was a lot closer than I anticipated. I went with Pittsburgh, and I'm sure you did too. The black and gold.
Yeah, we both did.
So, how about Rams in the Philadelphia Eagles?
Yeah, I think I picked Rams, but
yes, I did too. Yep.
Yeah. So
Philadelphia starting 0-2. Kind of interesting. They had some defensive issues going on. They ended up making it a closer game than it started out, but they lost and went to 0-2. And then San Francisco at the Jets. Who did you have there?
San Francisco at the Jets. I think probably was San Francisco.
Yeah, that's who I picked. San Francisco's a lot of season-ending injuries to some key defensive linemen. Joey Bosa's out for the year, and I think it's going to be a different team defensively for San Francisco for the rest of the year.
For the rest, and they're playing this week too, and probably they're gonna win.
Yeah, I'll have to look. I forget who I picked there. I think it's they're playing the Giants. And
Giants. Yeah,
and I picked San Fran, but Buffalo, Miami. That was the one I said possible upset Miami, and they actually made it a really close game. But Buffalo gets a win. Josh Allen lit it up. I think he had like 4 touchdowns and I think 415 yards passing in that game. So he did unbelievable last week. So if you had him on your fantasy team, I'm sure you were very happy. Then Detroit at Green Bay. Who did you have there?
I think I had Green Bay. So.
Yeah, I took Green Bay. Atlanta, Dallas. We mentioned it a little bit. What a game that was. A big comeback for Dallas, getting the onside kick at the end of the game. Crazy game. I thought Atlanta had them beat, and they end up giving it away.
Yeah. I think I had a lot of friends who followed Dallas, and they were so excited.
Yeah. Jerry Jones was celebrating in his booth up there.
Just few celebrations which he can enjoy.
Yeah, exactly. And then Giants at Chicago. I picked Chicago, and they won that one.
Yeah, I had Chicago too.
Washington at Arizona. We both, I think, picked Arizona, and that was Arizona win. Kansas City and the Chargers overtime win for Kansas City.
Yeah.
Really good game.
Yeah.
Houston and Baltimore. Baltimore with a victory there. I don't think that was a big shock. And then we had New England, Seattle. Seattle pulling that one out, like we said, with the goal line stand was an excellent game.
Yeah. I think it reminded me of the playoffs.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
I think this time they just came up with it. So.
Yeah, and then New Orleans and Las Vegas, the Raiders. they had their home opener and they pulled out a win against New Orleans. I picked New Orleans in that game, but so that was a loss for me.
Yeah, I actually also picked New Orleans, unfortunately. So I think everybody, I'm looking at the pool, everybody except 1%, 2% pick New Orleans. So I think that's why whoever won 15.
Yeah, that's what it come down to was that game right there. I think you had 14 wins, I had 14 wins, and there was a couple had 15 wins.
15 wins, yeah.
So pretty impressive week by whoever. I don't remember who won it, but
Oh, yeah, CJ, I think. But so
just looking real quick at the stat leaders last week, Dak Prescott had 450 yards passing and 1 touchdown. Jonathan Allen for the Bills had 415 and 4 touchdowns. Running backs, you had Aaron Jones with 168 yards and 2 touchdowns. Nick Chubb, 124 and 2 TDs. And the 2 leading receivers were Julian Edelman with 179 yards but no touchdowns, and Stephon Diggs with 153 yards and 1 touchdown.
yeah. So those are pretty good. I think mostly what I really enjoyed was Seattle last few minutes. And I think Dak Prescott's performance was really amazing.
Very impressive.
So what do you have for this week? Let's see.
This week is some tough games.
Yeah.
So starting out with Miami and Jacksonville, I believe that's tonight's game. I picked Jacksonville.
Yeah, I picked 2.
And then we have Houston at Pittsburgh. I'm going with your Steelers in this one. I think that'll be a close game, though.
Yeah, that'd be close.
Cincy is at Philadelphia. I'm going with the Eagles. They've so far I've picked
Michelle
them.
will be happy.
I'm hoping they can
Keep
get a win this
happy.
week.
Yeah,
If they don't
her
win this week, it could be a long year.
Okay.
Then how about San Francisco and the Giants?
You know, I picked San Francisco, but I don't know.
I was torn on that game because, like we talked about, San Francisco, a lot of injuries. I think Garoppolo came up knee or something last Sunday. Like I said, a few defensive linemen are out for the year. I think Richard Sherman is out for a few weeks. So I could see the Giants winning. I did pick San Fran, but that could go either way.
So that could go, okay.
And then how about the Raiders in New England?
Raiders in New England, I think I picked New England.
I did too. New England at home.
Although
Although the Raiders are 2-0, but I'm going with New England. They lost a close one last week against Seattle, so I think they'll come back and get the win this week. And then you got Tennessee at Minnesota.
Yeah, I was torn between that because, but I think probably Minnesota plays better at home.
They're 0-2, and Tennessee, Derrick Henry's, he can run. So I went with Tennessee this week. I know it's in Minnesota, but
did they win last time, Tennessee?
Yeah, they're 2-0. So.
Oh, well, then I better change mine.
Remember what you said, though. Every time you change, you're wrong.
Yeah,
so.
I know.
And then Washington at Cleveland. I'm going with Cleveland. I think that's going to be a pretty close game, though.
No, I picked Cleveland too.
Okay.
Sorry, Washington fans. So
I'm not, but
my neighbor is so.
Then you have the Rams at Buffalo. I think it's going to be a really good game, but I'm going with Buffalo at home.
Buffalo at home. I don't know. I went with Rams.
That's another coin flip, in my opinion. And then you have Chicago at Atlanta. Atlanta coming off that heartbreaker last week. I'm kind of going with Chicago. I was torn on this game as well. So.
And that is funny. You said that I picked first Chicago, then I looked at somebody's pick and they said Atlanta. I said, okay, let's change it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I think again that's another game that could go either way. And then we have Carolina at the Chargers. I'm going with the Chargers.
Yes, I mean to.
Then we have the Jets at Indy. Jets are 0-2. I believe Indy's 1-1. I'm going with Indy.
Same here.
Dallas 1-1 at 2-0 Seattle. I'm going with Seattle.
Yeah, I'm going with Seattle too, but this is gonna be a good game.
I think so. I think it will be, but I believe Seattle pulled this one out. And then Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Denver. I'm going with Tampa Bay.
Yeah, same here. I think I'm going with Tampa Bay too, and I hope Tom Brady still keep performing. I think
Like
they
you said,
won
in
this.
Tom we trust. So,
Tom, don't disappoint us.
yeah, I think they'll get the win there in Denver. Detroit at Arizona. Arizona is looking really good. I went with Arizona in this one.
Okay, you went with Arizona. I think I think I also went with Arizona.
And then we have Green Bay at New Orleans. New Orleans coming off that loss last week to Vegas. I'm going with New Orleans, even though Green Bay's 2-0. I think this is going to be another close game. But I went with New Orleans.
I think it's very hard to imagine New Orleans losing in Dome.
Yeah, that'd be 2 losses in a row as well. So that's what I'm hoping for. I went with New Orleans, and then to me, this is probably the best game of the week. Monday nighter, Kansas City at Baltimore.
Yeah.
I'm going with Baltimore. I know Mahomes Super Bowl last year, but I think the Baltimore will get the win in a really, really probably high-scoring, good game.
Yes, I think we had also total points. I put 65.
I put 54. So
I thought 31 and 30 something like on those lines. It'll be high scoring for sure, but I pick Kansas City.
Yeah, and again, I mean that's another game I think that could go either way. So
and that has a feeling of playoff games.
Yes, absolutely.
So it'll be probably if whoever wins or loses, you will see this game gonna be replayed. That's my prediction. It'll be in one of playoffs for sure.
I agree with you on that one for sure.
So it'll be high scoring. So let's see. I have total of above 60. So let's see if it's gonna. You wanna change your?
I should have changed. When you said that, I was thinking, man, I probably should have went 60 something, but I went with 54. I'm usually pretty conservative on the points. I usually 40 to tops 48. But Kansas City, Baltimore, I think you got some explosive offenses there. So we'll see. It'll be an interesting game.
Mm-hmm. And I think other thing we wanted were those. We got some feedback on the watching TV at home and those cavemen.
The man caves.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So do you have some of those ideas? I think we got some. We would like to share with the audience, so we'll show that. So, I think you'll see that. So give us feedback, anybody watching, and they would love to see your kind of lounge or area where you watch and see if you want to share with us. That would be excellent. Send us email, Twitter, whatever you like, and video, and we'll air that for our audience. Also, I think we got several callers calling in, and we'll be showing that also with reaction to one of the games. So we'll be also part of that.
Hey, Dr. Mobi and Bryan. Michelle here with her Week 3 pick of the week. I'm going to go with my boys, the Philadelphia Eagles, over Cincinnati, 24-17. I think after last weekend, Carson Wentz is going to come back in front of the hometown and play the way we know he can. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Thank you, Michelle, for comments. And I will definitely get more feedback and show everybody their picks. And so I think everybody should try to send us their favorite team and why they think they will be in playoffs. We love to hear from everyone and get an idea about as the season progresses. So, Bryan, do you have anything for teams upsets you think?
This week, looking at the schedule, possibly, I don't know if you'd even call it an upset, but maybe the Giants beating San Francisco, and then maybe Cincinnati pulling out a win in Philly would be two that stand out to me.
And I think those teams will probably do something to stay in the season. I think if you lose 4 games, then it's probably done.
Well, the stats say people that start or teams start at 0-2, their chances of making the playoffs are a lot less than being 1-1.
So what about?
I'm sure 0-3 is even less. So.
And what about 0-4?
Yeah, 0-4 would probably be slim to none.
So I think if anybody wants to kind of reverse their season, probably this is the time. So I think And the other thing I think we love to hear also is some plays. So if you have an idea about a play that watching the game, and if you thought that play should have been like this, give us your feedback. I will be happy to share that with our audience. Thank you for watching our show. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Good luck this week.
Thank you.